In Underhanded, the new novel by Jim Billman, Sonny Kristoff shares his adventures during the changing times after World War II with a refreshing inside-out look at history. Written from the perspective of men's fast-pitch softball, this was the time when baseball's little brother became America's most popular team sport. But unlike baseball, its imperfect dimensions brought about its demise. Order Underhanded on Amazon. Underhanded by longtime Southeast Iowa native Jim Billman. Available now.
As planting season gets closer, have a plan for terminating overwintered cover crops. And keep an eye on the weather on Successful Farming Radio.
Successful Farming Radio, providing information farmers need in the field, in the shop, and in the office. Committed to growing your business in agriculture.
Get the latest ag news, markets, weather, and more when you sign up for today's news from Successful Farming. Register at agriculture.com/newsletter for today's news, the free Successful Farming e-newsletter. Once a day, you'll get an email packed with relevant news hitting the ag industry online and around the nation, along with the 3 big things happening today. Visit agriculture.com/newsletter to subscribe to today's news from Successful Farming.
Are you looking for new advanced technology for your farm operation? Need some advice on managing your farm or tips on finding the best machinery prices? You'll find all this and more in Successful Farming Magazine. Subscriptions are available online at agriculture.com. Visit agriculture.com and complete your subscription to Successful Farming Magazine today.
If you planted cover crops last fall, they protected the soil surface and improved soil health. But if they didn't die off naturally over the winter, you'll have to kill them soon so you can plant your cash crop. Traditionally, cover crops are terminated 1 to 2 weeks before planting by rolling, tillage, or chemical control. The key for success is finding what works for you. Kevin Bradley is an extension weed scientist at the University of Missouri. He says there's a growing trend of planting green, where producers plant into the cover crop and then terminate it soon after.
They're just leaving it there, and they're going to plant into it, and usually within a week, sometimes the exact same day as they plant, then we can go through with a herbicide application to kind of finish that cover crop off. It really does depend on what cover crop we're talking about, but more often than not, I see people doing this with cereal rye.
The cover crop is starting to die off on its own, but the herbicide provides a faster kill. Keep in mind the type of herbicide, the rate used, and the environmental conditions are factors in success.
Be cautious of significant swings in temperature because that can affect the efficacy of most of these things that we'd be using to burn it down. And then, of course, I'd say the other factor is just the cover crop itself. We find that some are pretty easy to kill, and cereal rye would certainly fall into the category of being pretty easy to deal with. However, ryegrass is probably the other extreme, not so easy to deal with.
I'm Jody Henke. Learn more about terminating cover crops at agriculture.com.